I want to thank you for your countless emails, texts, and messages asking me how I was doing in this situation. No, nobody cared. Nobody said that.
Hard Rock.
For those of you hanging around the Northeast or anywhere where climate change is real and not make-believe.
Hard Rock.
We're in a fight and they're like, I don't even know who you are, dude.
Hard Rock.
He was handling the meat yesterday.
Hard Rock.
The vapors.
Hard Rock.
Maybe just do climate change Thursdays and just turn it up 3 degrees, just enough to melt like an ice sheet from Greenland, and just see how the heavy-set ladies over in accounting react to that.
Hard Rock.
With much ado, I guess, without further ado, but with previously a lot of ado.
Hard Rock.
Sometimes Republicans, especially the conservative ones, really have some good fiscally responsible ideas.
Hard Rock.
You gotta watch what they do, and the very first thing they do is try and curtail rights that they don't believe in.
Hard Rock.
I am just blown away by the amount of responsibility white men throw on women.
Hard Rock.
When a pee-pee goes into a vagina.
Hard Rock.
Unenlightened males of the world, if you could please commit to putting your penis only in yours or your cousin's butt.
Hard Rock Lunchbox.
Greetings and salutations, Hard Rock Lunchbox. How is everybody on this somewhat glorious Thursday afternoon? It is beautiful here in the Northeast if you have not had a chance to go outside. Sweet Lady Fall, or Autumn as I like to call her, has definitely waved a little hello in our general direction. It was so nice outside earlier. I actually planted a plant. Yeah. Planted. I planted a plant. The thing that plant wanted to be most in the world, planted. I actually had done some cuttings of some of my lavender up front. I'm trying to make it grow in the back, and it's funny because I cut a little of it, and it was like big in the little pots that I was growing in it, and then I tried to put it in my backyard, and it's like this little teeny thing, and I'm like, that's gonna get lost in the fall for sure. But point is, it is definitely still summer as far as the calendar is concerned, but it has cooled off considerably, and I effing dig it, because I like cooler weather. I will tell you, it is hot as F here in the Hard Rock Lunchbox studios, and it's not because I have not resolved my air conditioning, because I have resolved my air conditioning issue. I know you guys are all worried, and I want to thank you for your countless emails, texts, and messages asking me how I was doing in this situation. No, nobody cared. Nobody said that. It's fine. Totally fine. I know what you're all thinking. Maybe a few hours in a sweatbox, DJ actually drops back under 500 pounds again. I know. I thought it too. I actually, in a very roundabout way, have solved my air conditioning problem. I got a new one. For those of you hanging around the Northeast or anywhere where climate change is real and not make-believe like they believe in the red states, it was hot as F over the past couple of weeks, and I work in tech and have tech around me, and tech generates heat, and I thought I was going to drop dead a few days. And while I was having the fight with DeLonghi over, or not even a fight, like it wasn't even a fight, right? Like, didn't even engage, didn't even answer me. It's like, we're in a fight, and they're like, I don't even know who you are, dude. Like, it was that kind of argument. You ever meet people like that? They're in an argument with you, and you just don't know it, and it's like, no, we've been fighting for like a long time. Like, I actually had that incident once with Paul from formerly of Night Screams, the bass player of Night Screams, who I really like, and he had said that he had seen me at, like, I think an Unplugged, and I just completely blew him off, and I was like, dude, I am so sorry. Like, that doesn't sound like me. Like, and anybody that knows me really should know that. Like, I just don't blow people off. I mean, like, I was probably right in the middle of doing something or trying to go attend to something. It's also possible I hadn't seen him in years, so it's possible I didn't quite recognize him. I am guilty of that. I mean, like, as much... who's the comedian? It's like, I think it's Dimitri Martin. It's like, well, I'm much better with faces than names. Like, yeah, we all are. Like, that's his face. Like, that's about as good as I am with faces, so it's a little tough. Thank you, Dimitri Martin. Gonna be at the Paramount soon, by the way. Not a sponsor, but hella funny. So I was in a one-sided argument with DeLonghi over Labor Day because they weren't answering my calls. I guess it wasn't me, it was them. But they finally, and I told you about the whole thing with Destiny and like the thing on my phone and all that other stuff. So apparently everything's fine, and it's going to be covered under warranty. They sent me the obligatory, like, yep, we're going to send you another unit, not a new unit. It's a reconditioned unit that'll be at your level or better. But we also can't guarantee color. And I'm like, I can't imagine what kind of threat level that is to somebody that like really holds a room together. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I am fine. Well, I furnished my entire, bedroom and most of our living room when I was young with furniture people would throw out on furniture throw out day. Like, we grew up dirt poor. Like, me and my sister, like, you threw out a wicker chair. Like, I have a new lounge chair for my living room is basically. It took me decades to stop thinking like that. I mean, we used to get mattresses and stuff like that, which is like a hella no-no now. Like, you can't do that. Like, there's bed bugs everywhere. Like, but we didn't give a shit. Like, I don't think I had a single piece of furniture in my bedroom that wasn't from somebody else's garbage. So no, your color threats, DeLonghi, do not scare me. Although, I will say I'm intrigued because sometimes people get really weird with their colors, especially, like women that like to decorate because they think they can decorate, but like, all women are not good at color. I'm gonna, like, if I'm breaking news right... Hold on. If I'm breaking news right now, like, let's do that, because all women are not good at color. In fact, one of the people that I know that is absolutely best with color is my middle kid, Bubbles, Corey. Like, Corey has got a stunningly good eye for color and fashion like that. And it's always kind of funny because, like, I'll just tell... Charlotte has my eye for fashion. Charlotte's like, black and gray. Good, excellent. Like, let's go out, everybody. I'm ready. But if there's ever a question about color, and Charlotte's asking me, I'm like, why are you even wasting this air right now? Like, you know exactly who you need to be talking to. And he's at work at Trader Joe's right now. So he was handling the meat yesterday. Just saying. Happens to be true. Came home last night. I was like, is all the produce in good order? He's like, I was handling meat all day. And I was like, well, okay. This could be a whole other conversation. But anyway, so I don't read tea leaves, but I read the tea leaves in the air conditioning situation, and I just went ahead and ordered a new one from Home Depot that was on sale. I actually opted to get a really good one so I don't have to deal with this, because, again, it's not so much that, like, the vapors. Like, it's not any of that. Like, I can handle the heat, but, like, I do have equipment in here that can overheat and produces more heat, and honestly, as it starts to push into the upper 80s in my office, like, I'm not exactly concentrating all that well. Like, yeah, that could be a colon, it could be a semicolon. Like, who really gives a shit? You know who gives a shit? Software gives a shit. That's right. It's super important. So, I like, and it's funny, too, because I like the temperature around, like, 77, 78, but, like, 81, 82, it's like, it's a big difference. And I remember saying, I forget which one of my kids, because they all look alike, but I remember saying, like, climate change is really only about, like, 1 or 2 degrees of a difference. And I got to tell you, the difference from 79 to 81 degrees in an office, you know what? Try it and see how it goes. See how people react to that. You want to do, like, a quick experiment on climate change and, like, maybe just do climate change Thursdays and just turn it up 3 degrees, just enough to melt, like, an ice sheet from Greenland, and just see how the heavy-set ladies over in accounting react to that, or HR, even better, because I'm sure that's a problem. But anyway, you heard that here first on the Hard Rock Lunchbox, and if anybody goes ahead and does Climate Change Fridays, I would like to know about it. Please email me immediately at hardrocklunchbox@gmail.com. But, so I ended up getting a new one. You'll be happy to know I ordered it from my local Home Depot because I'm trying to do things locally. And they proceeded to fuck me completely and delay it for 2 days. And I'm like, well, it's a good thing I'm not dying here because that would have been important. But yeah, it finally got here. I spent Saturday putting it in. It's a dual hose portable air conditioner, which is just like hella fancy and probably hella wasteful, but it was a game changer and changed the way I'm living my life. So if it seems like I'm in a better mood today, it is probably that, but also possibly the fact that it's absolutely beautiful outside and the weather is not actively trying to kill me, and that, I think, is probably important. So, with much ado, I guess, without further ado, but with previously a lot of ado, But we can get to just basic sort of housekeeping right here. There's a brand new episode of the Top 20. We can all judge the backdrop and see how this is doing. Like, I don't know. I don't care anymore. Does anybody, like, I'll check in the chat in a minute. Like, does anybody actually have any opinions on the backdrop? Should I go back to the old shiny banner? I mean, like, should I keep the black backdrop? Like, what actually looks a little bit more professional? And I'm open for other suggestions. If somebody actually has an idea of something that might be better, like, definitely put it in the chat or email me. Like, I am really running out of ideas of how to make this a better thing. So if you have some, definitely hit me up. I would super appreciate it. But yeah, the new episode's out. I talk about my adventures in air conditioning. This is all obviously pre me getting the new winter. By the way, I got a winter air conditioner, WHYNTER. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, but it's definitely bordering on clever, so I think I'm okay with it. But I'll keep you posted. Not that you asked. So yeah, so I talk about all of that stuff. Miners, Destination, Budokan, Red Rocks, Levittown. The unique spelling of Silverteen. We have new Silverteen. Actually, we have new Silverstein. We can't afford the Silverteen stuff on the box, but like we have new Silverstein coming up. Technical support unit, Witch Hunt 2022, and more. And that's pretty much what we got. Don't forget, Revel 9 is playing Amitably Music Hall with Neon Skyline, Roderick, and a couple bands I don't know. Giovanna's also going to be there. Feel free to get tickets at revel9.com/shows, or just message me or anybody else in the band. There are so many tickets available. We're definitely going to take a bath on this, so please, if you know anybody that needs tickets, definitely send them my direction. Blah, 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 blah. Also, our show in Scranton looks like it's still on, but it is probably moving locations. That'll be October 29th, and that'll be fun. We haven't been back out to Scranton since definitely before COVID, so it's been a while. It'll be nice to see those people out there. Also, as of right now, there's supposed to be a live stream on it. I don't know for sure. I will let you know as we get closer to it. So that's that. One other thing about the Amityville show, I've actually been... It's weird, actually, for a couple reasons, and I don't know how it's actually going to shake out. We're actually the fourth band on that night, which is what I wanted. I did not want to be right before the Neon Skyline, so that worked out perfectly, and Roderick is going to be between us and Neon Skyline, and as far as I'm concerned, that's perfect. I just didn't want to be, honestly, I didn't want to be that late in the night at Amityville Music Hall, and the joke's on me because Joey is running this show like it's a breakfast brunch, and I think it's starting at like 1 in the afternoon because I'm going to be on at like 7:45. Dude, I'm the fourth band, and he's got us slated for 7:45. As we get closer, I'm probably going to try and coax him to move that a little bit later because I mean, the show's going to be over at like 8:15 at that point, and like, you know, I don't know, is this a senior citizen thing? Like, Joey's like, you know, I know he's not getting any younger, but like, you know, we don't need to do, like, is there a bar mitzvah after? Like, that's why we got to get out? Like, I don't know, so I'll talk to him. Oh, I stepped on my applause. My own applause. There we go. Sorry. We've also been given a half-hour slot, which actually kind of tightens us up a little bit. So it's going to be kind of hard to get some stuff in there because we've been demanded to play one song by Joey, and that seems fair. It's his show. He asked us to do it. We put together a very cool medley that is still sounding like garbage, so it'll be anybody's guess if we sound good by the first. So either way, if it's good, it'll be great and you'll love it. If it's a train wreck, you're going to love it even more. So, like, I think that'll be worth it. But that's going to take some time. We're going to do the 4 songs we're currently working on for future recording and stuff like that. And so it kind of limits us to, like, the other songs we can play. So it's going to be a tight set. I don't know that we're going to get everybody's favorite songs in. I don't know we're going to get anybody's favorite songs in, honestly. So we're going to see how it's going to go. But I did want to put it in your ear that it's going to be super early. So if you thought you were going to do anything like, I don't know, attend a barbecue or get gas before the show, you might actually miss us. So just keep that in mind until you hear something different from me. So that's that on that. And I'm serious about any of the comments about, like, making the top 20 better. Like, I know I keep asking, but I get some feedback, and I do appreciate that. But, like, as the ideas come in, like, please don't be afraid to just send them my way, because I really am trying to make this better, trying to make it worth, you know, something that people want to watch, something that people want to engage in. So, I don't know. I had actually considered starting the top 20 earlier and not having it be part of the Hard Rock Lunchbox and just run the 2 hours of the Hard Rock Lunchbox. So I might do that so you can only hear the top 20 there, but I think that would just be pretty dick for everybody that supported the Hard Rock Lunchbox for, you know, all these years, so I'm probably not going to do that. Don't be worried about it. So yeah, I had a couple things I wanted to discuss. Just one thing, kind of like, it's not even on the political thing, it's more of the social thing. Like, I want to point out, like, I'm very pro women's rights, mainly because I think it's unfair. Like, it's just, like, it always, like, shocks the conscience to me, like, treating women differently than men. Like, I understand that there's differences between men and women, but, like, it's not, like, life differences. Like, it's really funny, like, when you start engaging with people that are less enlightened or less understanding of how things actually work in the real world. And I'm appalled by the level of, like, wherever you stand on the abortion debate, like, Senator Lindsey Graham, douchebag extraordinaire, like, just put out legislation to kind of nationwide ban on abortion after 15 weeks, which, honestly, given what the Supreme Court just did and what they said, where it's up to the states to decide, is kind of ridiculous. But I do want to point out that I said exactly that the very first piece of legislation that the Republican Senate and Republican House would put forward would be a nationwide ban on abortion. So he's just jumping the gun. But, like, be very clear. Like, I said that was exactly what that was going to happen, because that's exactly their platform. And as I like to point out, like, Republicans actually have some good ideas and bring some good ideas to the table when it comes to, like, conservative, spending and stuff like that, and discretionary stuff. Like, I'm all for that. Like, I'm definitely for reining in a little bit of, like, the liberal, like, let's just spend everything, like, on all, everybody should have this. Like, yeah, everybody, but then everybody needs to kind of work for it, like, and not necessarily go get a job, but, like, you need to contribute something, like, if you want something. Like, I'm not a full, like, here, have some money, like, I've never been that. Like, we don't let people die in the streets in this country, and that's fine, but we also shouldn't squeeze the middle class in order to do that. Like, there's ways to do this better. So sometimes Republicans, especially the conservative ones, really have some good fiscally responsible ideas, and, like, I'm all for that. But, like, the reality is, like, no matter what they bring to the table, you got to watch what they do, and the very first thing they do is try and curtail rights that they don't believe in. Like, women's rights to choose, voting rights. They are done with voting rights. Like, if you are black or, like, oppressed otherwise, or you are just generally slightly Democratic, they are looking for a way to repress your vote. Like, that is absolutely happening. Gay marriage stuff is definitely on the table. They do not like that in the red states at all, and they think they're corrupting their children as if. So you always got to watch what they do, and I'm telling you that this is what they just did. And there's a lot of pushback because, like, people are like, oh, I can't believe he did it. Like, yeah, they can't believe he did it before the midterms, because it may cost them the midterms. It's not bad that he did it, in their opinion. It's bad how he did it. But Lindsey Graham's in a lot of trouble because he's meddling and basically he's dancing in election fraud water, and manipulating the 2020 election. So, like, he's in a lot of trouble. So he's definitely got to wag the dog a little bit. But something about root beer. I'm sure it was something about root beer. But anyway, keep an eye on what they do is the whole point of that. But so I, posted, like, this is what they're doing. Like, keep an eye on it. And this is what I was going to say. Like, I am just blown away by, like, however you fall on the abortion issue, I am just blown away by the amount of responsibility white men throw on women. Like, it is just absolutely stunning. Like, I don't know if everybody out in my listening audience knows how babies work or how sex works, but generally, with the exception of, like, one dude roughly 2,022 years ago, this December, pretty much every baby requires when a pee-pee goes into a vagina. Now, you might recognize the vagina. It's vagina. I actually know that. I just like saying vagina. The vagina is where the woman comes in, generally speaking. I mean, yep. I mean, that's basic 5th and 8th grade health, right? But you might recognize this part, the pee-pee. This is the dude's part. And why am I telling you this? Because you need both of them to make a baby. And the number of times I see the response, well, if women don't want an abortion, maybe they should just keep their legs closed. Like, okay, sure. But what else could we do? Maybe just keep your dick in your hand. Like, only, ever. How about don't insert your pee-pee in anything that isn't your cousin's butt? How about that? Just go back to banging your cousin in the butt, and I think you'll be fine. And maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll really, because you know what'll reduce abortions? Like, not having sex with your penis in a woman's vagina. I would argue that 99% of abortions could be avoided if guys would just limit themselves to putting their own penis in their own butt. Now, I know that that's controversial, but statistically, I think I might be onto something. I also might be on something. I'm not, but if you think this one through, I think we've got a really good chance of just not necessarily fixing the abortion issue, but eliminating it altogether. So guys, unenlightened males of the world, if you could please commit to putting your penis only in yours or your cousin's butt, from now on, not only will the people of Earth appreciate it, that you are not spawning any more people like yourself, but you can not only stop forest fires, but can prevent abortions. And I think that that is really the way to go about this, right? Although you might not want to do that in Texas because they're really touchy about that sodomy shit. But hey, that's Texas. And who gives a shit about Texas? Not me. Not Silverstein. Actually, I don't know. I can't speak for Silverstein. I'm going to play some new Silverstein, brand new band, not to be confused with Silverteen, which you can hear on Bacon Is My Podcast. Silverstein's got a new record out, finally, I think, early. I don't know. They had singles, whatever. I grabbed something for you. It's called Ultraviolet, and we'll get us started today on The Box.